The Buffalo Bills finally did it. They ruined the Chiefs' undefeated season. Josh Allen got the job done and crushed the dreams of having an undefeated season for the Chiefs. A lot of people expected this game to be the one to ruin the Chiefs' undefeated season. To be honest, I thought the Chiefs were going to win this game just because of the injuries to Kincaid and Coleman. I just thought that would be enough for the Chiefs to get it done, but they had Amari this game and he had some clutch moments, and of course Josh Allen on fourth down at the end of the game really sealed it. So good job, Buffalo. We'll see if you could do it in the postseason. I'd be really curious to see if they will, but I'm sure we'll find out later on in the year. Now, if you're a Chiefs fan, you kind of almost have to be relieved to a certain extent, just because as the season goes on, you could kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit more in regards to resting your players and keeping your team healthy for the playoff run in January and February. So definitely a good thing. If they were still undefeated, in weeks 15, 16, 17, etc., you're kind of in that weird space of, should we rest some guys? Should we keep playing hard for a full 60 minutes? And that's the thing, at the end of a regular season, everyone is unhealthy, so you're really susceptible to injuring your guys out there. So it's really a good thing for the Chiefs to have a good and healthy playoff run. And I'm sure Andy Reid is a bit happy about it too, secretly, just because it makes his job a lot easier down the stretch. And not only that, but undefeated teams who only have one or two L's on the regular season, statistically, they don't have the best track record of actually winning the Super Bowl. So I think adversity for championship teams is kind of a mandatory thing, and it's just a healthy thing for, no matter how talented or skilled you are, it's just good to go through tough moments and L's, because usually those tough moments and those L's, you usually learn a lot more than when you're just destroying teams on a weekly basis. Plus, what we saw a week ago with the Texans and the Lions, for the Lions to really be down on the road like that, and for not much to be right in the first half, and then for them to just come storming back. I feel like those sort of games for championship caliber teams are great in the sense of getting used to playing from behind rather than always playing with the lead. So just being in different sort of situations and tests are always a good thing for teams in the regular season to just be fully ready for every situation when it comes to the playoffs, because usually when it's the playoffs, the lights are brighter, wild stuff happens, and it's win or go home. And if you don't have that experience of trailing or being down by X amount of points, or your quarterback throwing 5 picks, a lot of teams panic, a lot of teams shut down because they have no experience of dealing with that prior to the moment. So adversity, tests, being down by a lot, and L's are always a good thing in my opinion. I think it's a mandatory thing. Let me know if you guys agree with me. Do you think the Chiefs are sort of relieved to a certain extent, or do you think they would have wanted that undefeated season? Let me know in the comments. So now it's going to be very interesting down the stretch in regards for the first seed in the AFC. Right now, if both teams finish with the same record, the Bills will beat the Chiefs in the tiebreaker because of today. So that's a huge thing for them. And I think they will probably be the number 1 seed once the season concludes. Just because I'm surprised, and I know a lot of people are surprised with the Chiefs' current record right now. Really, they should have lost last week against Denver, and they should have had another couple of L's too. So I think this team may be in line to drop a game or two more, but we'll have to find out. Now for the Bills' remainder schedule, going into their bye week now, then they're at home against the Niners, then at LA, Rams, then at Detroit. That's a crazy game. Then at home against the Patriots, at home against the Jets, and then they finish off the year in New England. So really, I really think they only have to worry about that Detroit game. San Francisco is, I think they're done, especially with that loss today. That just doesn't look like a playoff caliber team to me. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think the Bills could handle them. But we'll have to find out. They really only have that Detroit game to worry about. Other than that, I think they're going to rack up a lot of W's. Now for the Chiefs, it's a little more interesting down the stretch. Next week, they're at Carolina, then at home against the Raiders, Black Friday. Then they're at home against the Chargers. Should be close, should be tough. Then at Cleveland. Then at home against the Texans. And after that, on the road against Pittsburgh. And then they finish off the year in Denver. So I'd really say the Chargers game, the Texans game, the Steelers game, and the Broncos game are all really competitive toss-up games and could potentially be L's. So that's why I think the Bills are going to finish as the number one seed in the AFC this year, because not only do the Bills have clearly an easier schedule, but because of the result of today, man. Like, if they have the same record, the Bills will win the tiebreaker. So good job, Buffalo. I'm sure they'll really take advantage of that bye week, having the first seed in the AFC, and we'll see if Buffalo could finally beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. I mean, it would be interesting. I know they could do it, but I kind of want to see it happen. I know they've had their moments in recent years, but they just never got over the hump. Can they do it this year? Can the Bills finally beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? You let me know in the comments below. And do you think the Bills will finish as the number one seed in the AFC this year? Let me know. If you made this far, please subscribe. How about your boy a ton? That's all I got for right now. Peace.
The Chiefs go with the dime formation here on defense. From the gun, Johnson's got the catch and the first.
When you see the defensive back on the inside of the wide receiver, you have a corner route on, make sure you throw it towards the sideline, let the wide receiver outrun the defensive back, and he makes a nice catch there.
First down at the 36. And that's a gain of 10.
That time the quarterback throws the drag route. It doesn't get a first down, but still it's a good decision by him. The throw was right on target, and it picked up solid yards.
Woodhead's going to take the handoff now.
Woodhead's a very smart runner. He knows situations in the game. He saw the first down yard markers, and what does he do? He gets past them and picks up the first down.
First down at the 49. Away from the ball, there's a flag down on the field. The defense will take the penalty. The Chargers have it at the 39. Houston's all over that offense and brings him down.
The Chiefs defensive coordinator, my gosh, he is one happy guy. Anytime you get in the backfield and stop a runner and make him lose yards, that's some good stuff.
The Chargers from the 37. And the catch is made by Woodhead.
Nobody cares. Just get the job done. Throw it deep down the field or throw it short to the running back and look at those extra yards after the short pass.
Will go ground.
That time, nice job by the offensive line. They showed their power, and they picked up the first down.
Locked in on the football and has hold of it with 2 hands.
Nice job that time by the tight end. Makes the catch, and you got to look out for him now in the NFL. Remember, they're usually the closest receiver to the quarterback. Quarterback gets in trouble, he's going to look for the tight end.
Would have